Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's Mystic Minute is Portals of Opportunity. Today I'm recording this at the same time as an eclipse is about to happen. Eclipses happen every 6 months. There's usually 2, sometimes 3 in a row. They coincide with the new moons and the full moons. And vibrationally, they're 3 times the impact of a regular new moon or full moon. We all know how the moon affects the tides. There's greater tides at the time of a full moon. And any kindergarten teacher can tell you how moons affect her classroom. Little kids are bouncing off the wall at the time of the full moon. And you may notice in your workplace stronger emotions going on as well. Astrology gives us a lot of information about eclipses, and before I go into that, I'm going to give you a bit of my perspective as consciousness. Consciousness is creating this reality down to the smallest detail. This reality is a full immersion video game that consciousness is experiencing and playing, and we as consciousness are experiencing and playing through individual physical forms. Everything in your reality you have created as consciousness down to the smallest detail. When you just take the perspective of yourself as a player in this game, then you are experiencing a certain level of choice, because as the player you can decide to go left or to go right and have the consequences unfold due to the choices that you make. And the game has programming, and it has different vibrational frequencies. Part of the programming is morphic fields and historic timelines and things like that. And so eclipses are part of the energetic makeup of this great full immersion game that you are playing in. As consciousness, you have the choice to play in whatever realm you desire. When you actually align yourself up as consciousness playing in physical form, you can play outside the box. You don't have to be influenced by the different mechanisms that are going on. You can be here in physical reality and engage with what you choose to engage with. I like to play with astrology. I think of it as energetic weather, which, by the way, you can also operate as consciousness and influence physical weather patterns as well, but that's for another video. Eclipses are great portals for change. They will create openings, new starts, sudden beginnings that propel you way down your path. They also create sudden completions, endings for paths that you should have gotten off of a long time ago. They seem surprising, they seem out of the blue. Just remember, as consciousness, you are creating all of this down to the smallest detail. When you look back on it, you can see the influences and the patterns and the things that may have led up to it that you might have just had your blinders on. So the fun thing is that you can play with the energy of the eclipses. You can ride on the coattails of the energy that's unfolding. If you want to create change in your life, you can choose to step through the portals that are opening. You can intend what's going to come up for you. Now, the thing with intention to be aware of is, how are you intending? What level are you intending from? Are you intending as consciousness because it would be fun to play in this new realm, to let's try this? Or are you, oh, I've got to get out of this situation and I just really can't stand that person and I really need to make this happen? You can totally see the different levels between the focuses. One is like, this is all happening to me, it's all outside of me, and I've got to do something to make it change. There is consciousness, and this is a fun game. What would happen if I did this? When you play this way, the changes that happen, even if they are sudden, unfold perfectly with a lot of fun. You are letting the next wave come. You are riding the waves of change with all the enthusiasm of an expert surfer. Now, the thing is, there are portals of potential all around you at any moment of time. You can make changes and shifts regardless of what's going on astrologically. You can decide to step through a portal that takes you to a completely different reality. You can do it instantaneously. You can do it in the moment. You can just decide, well, this feels like a lot of density and effort. I think I will try taking a quick step over here where it feels lighter and see what unfolds then. I've actually done this in circumstances where it's like, okay, it feels really dense here. I'm taking a restroom break. You just walk out through a doorway. There's a portal. Out into the hallway, do a little loop around, come back in, and you step back into a completely different reality. Oh, it feels a lot better here now. You can shift your state at any moment, stepping through invisible portals of change. Stepping through portals of change can help prepare you for external change to happen. Maybe you've been trying really hard to better your circumstances, change your relationship, and it's just like trying to break out of prison using a teaspoon. That's going to take you years to dig your way out of that. You can step through portals, step through invisible doors, shift and change your state, and each one steps you to a new way of being. Each one opens up new opportunities, brings you new synchronistic situations. It just becomes a delightful game to play. You're just released of any effort. It feels lighthearted and amusing, and you can choose to play it as a game. So play with this. The more you try this out, the more real it becomes for you, the more you can consciously choose to navigate your reality. And if you like these videos, you can subscribe to them on YouTube. You can sign up below to get them in your inbox. And if you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. I have a weekly radio show and podcast. I also write a weekly newsletter and blog post. I put out these videos a couple times a week. And I have meetups around the Puget Sound in Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma, and Olympia. And I have a new course called Rediscovering Your Life Purpose and Regaining Your Passion, 12 Weeks to Transformation. So if you want to know more about that, go to my website, joan-newcomb.com, and I'll have another video for you in another couple days.